All right, welcome to the Ringside Reporter Podcast, a special Monday edition. And we have a special guest here today, Omar Figueroa Jr. Omar, how you doing today?
Doing great, man. Thank you for asking.
All right, man. Let's see here. Now, you got a fight coming up on Saturday against John Molina Jr. Give me your thoughts on your opponent on Saturday.
Well, I think John is as tough as they come. So, we're prepared for a tough, 10, 12 round fight.
Very good, man. Very good. So now you haven't fought. You've been out a little bit. You haven't fought since July 15th in 2017. Are you worried about ring rust at all?
No, I don't think so.
What is it in particular that you do in your training to avert that?
Honestly, I don't know what I think. I think that's more mental than it is, real. To me, it's just another day in the office. It's like it's the same as sparring. Obviously, everything leading up to the fight is different. The whole setup. You have the crowd, you have the stage, So I guess that causes a little bit of stress. If you're worried about that, but other than that, my last fight was after a long while of being off too. And I took care of business in 3 rounds, so I don't see why it wouldn't be the same for this one. And if anything, I like the little butterflies that I get. It's been a while since I got a little bit nervous for a fight. I've been doing this for 23 years, so it was getting old to me. But I guess these breaks have kind of brought the excitement back to the ring for me.
All right, so you said something interesting there. You've been doing this for about 23 years now. And so let me ask you, So each time when you come to the ring, there are still, you still get butterflies, correct? You never just come in there and just kind of lackadaisical, it's just another day. It's every time is excitement, especially, the more and more you move up and that kind of thing. So, do you still get those butterflies?
No, like I said, it's been a while since I got those butterflies. But these last couple fights, because I had spent so much time away from the ring, and I guess Guerrero, because I did actually watch him fight in a couple of big fights. My family's huge, they're huge with boxing, obviously. So the huge fights they like to watch. My dad likes to watch every fight; he doesn't care. But my family, we make a thing out of it when it comes to big fights. So when he fought Mayweather, my family made a huge thing, and I normally don't watch fights. I don't care to. But since my family's watching, well, sometimes I will watch a fight, and that was one of the fights that I had watched. So for me to be stepping in the ring with this guy that fought Mayweather, blah, 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 it kind of did give me butterflies. But I feel like they were the good kind of butterflies. They gave me a little bit extra, I don't know, whatever it's called. But yeah, I feel like it'll be the same with John Molina.
All right, wait a minute now. You just said, all right, so you said that you don't like to watch fights. So let me ask you, you don't watch any fights? You're not a boxing fan? Obviously you're a fan of the sport. Don't get me wrong. But if you have a choice to watch a fight or watch football or watch something else, you're not watching the fight?
Yeah, nah.
Wow. So what is your favorite sport to watch?
Soccer.
Me too, man. I love soccer. What do you follow? You follow MLS or what do you follow?
It's weird because no, I don't follow anything. I don't watch sports on TV.
Okay.
But if I do have to watch one, it's soccer, and I don't mind watching soccer.
Gotcha.
But my team is Real Madrid.
Yeah. That's a good team to watch, I'll tell you that. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Well, it was until lately, but
All right, so let me ask you something, man. Injuries seem to follow you through your career. You know what I mean? You've had a shoulder injury. They said that you've had some hand injuries and that kind of thing, some nagging injuries. Have you changed the way you train to prevent some of these injuries?
Yes, we have changed a lot, but I was, in the last couple of interviews I had, I've told them that the main change came from within. I started taking care of myself. I started taking, different measures and taking different steps in assuring that I stayed healthy. So I feel like that's been the biggest change that I made these last couple of years that I've been idle. Pretty much is I've looked inward and I've focused on myself, and I've dealt with a lot of the lingering issues that I had, whether it was mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally.
Sure.
And I did a lot of cleansing and everything. And I feel like that's changed my life around. I realize that I'm getting older, that my time in boxing is diminishing. My kids are getting older. They're the problems that they're going to be bringing to me are going to be different, and I need to be mentally prepared for that to be able to better serve them, and dealing with these issues that they're going to be facing. Like my baby, my oldest daughter, she's in school now, and she's been bullied, a couple of times, and so like I said, I'm dealing with these different kinds of problems now, and I knew that I had to make a change in myself if I wanted to be the best parent that I could be for my babies. So I've done a lot of self-care, I guess, in these last few years, especially when it comes to the mental aspect of things. And honestly, I feel like it's made me a way better rounded person.
Yeah, it definitely changes things. I mean, definitely when you have kids and everything like that, and you see them, it definitely changes the way you do things. I mean, for yourself and for them and everything like that, for sure. So I know you're focused on this fight with John Molina, but realistically, what's next for you after this fight?
Honestly, it's hard for me, especially, to look forward when I've had so many injuries, and my plans have been messed up so many times, and I've had to cancel so many fights. I've had to change my everything so many times that I've learned not to look forward. I just focus on the fight, the task at hand, which is right now the fight against John Molina. And if my body's healthy afterwards, then we can think about the future. But as of right now, it's useless for me to think or waste energy thinking about what's next when shit, I don't even know if we'll make it healthy to this fight. That's the thing about boxing. It's so unpredictable. So we do our best to stay healthy, and you never know, we could have a car accident tomorrow, or I could be jogging and twist my ankle, or you just never know. So I try to not focus too much on the future.
Okay, and I see your point, and you're absolutely right. But let me ask you, let me kind of ask the question a different way. Do you have a say on who you fight next, or is that kind of decided for you? For example, like when you fought,
No.
Did you call out John Molina, or did they bring him to you and say, "Hey, you're going to fight John Molina next"? That's it. End of story.
My team knows that I don't care who I fight.
So they can bring just anybody.
I tell them anybody, I don't care. It's the same thing for me. I still gotta train, I still gotta diet, I still gotta go, through all the troubles of training and the aches and pains and all that. To me, it's the same. The only thing that changes is the character in the ring. I either gotta chase them or they're gonna come to me and fight. That's the difference.
Very good, man. Very good. Beeb, do you have any questions?
Absolutely. Omar, you've been at welterweight for a few fights now. John Molina, this will be his first fight at welterweight. Do you see yourself as the bigger guy? Do you see yourself as the? Oh, you're fighting at 140 because it says 147. I thought.
No, it's 140.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
It's
okay.
listed as welterweight on the ESPN.
Yeah,
like that.
It's listed as what? Yeah. They have it listed at welterweight, but thank you for the correction. I'm sorry about that. But either way, do you see yourself as the since you were at welterweight and he's been a junior welterweight? Do you see yourself as the bigger guy physically in this fight, the stronger guy in this fight?
Well, I can't see myself as a bigger guy because this guy's almost like six feet tall. So But to me, I see it as an advantage for myself because I prefer fighting bigger people. My whole life I grew up fighting bigger people because I guess what my parents like to say, big boned. So
Yeah.
even though I was, a little scrawny kid in boxing, I was always heavy for my size, and so I was always having to fight people that were 6, 7, 8 inches taller than me. So I developed a liking for fighting bigger people. I got used to it, and so I feel like it facilitates me doing my work when it comes to the inside and working the body and all that. And so I prefer it.
Okay. Now, you've had hand injuries before, and we've seen fighters that have hand injuries like Floyd Mayweather kind of adjust their style as they've gotten older. Have you made adjustments? I know you and Eric talked about making adjustments in your training, but have you adapted a different style? Have you added things to your game to kind of protect your hands in there so you don't have to suffer hand injuries during the fight or after the fight?
Yeah, well, we've changed the way we wrap my hands and stuff like that. But aside from like my actual boxing style, I think the way I fight is the best to protect my hands because I know exactly where I am. I know exactly how far I am from my opponent. That's why I like to be so close. I know exactly when I'm going to hit him, where I'm going to hit him, how I'm going to hit him. So to me, being up close is the best way to protect myself and my hands from injury.
Now, in the DeMarco fight, it seemed as though you took it right to him. You went to war with him, and you tried to walk right through him and walk him down. But then in the Guerrero fight, you seemed a little bit measured. What type of game plan? I don't reveal the whole game plan, but do you see yourself fighting the way you fought Guerrero, a little bit more measured against John Molina, or do you see yourself trying to take it to him? Because we know John Molina is a guy that likes to go to war. Are you going to oblige him? Are you going to go to war with him? Or are you going to be a little bit more measured and maybe pace yourself a little bit in this fight? How is it going to play out?
Well, the thing about the DeMarco fight is that a couple of days prior to the weigh-in, I got sick, and that's why the weight was off by a lot, and that's why everything was off at that point because some stuff happened, and so kind of the plan or the game plan that we did have went out the window. And I kind of just went out there just winging it and relying on instinct for that fight. So that fight, I wouldn't count it as part of any plan or of any sort. That one was just winging it. But the Guerrero fight, yeah, that's usually how I like to fight when it comes, like, based off of the Guerrero fight. That's how I do my fights, and that's me close to optimal right there. Because I also had the shoulder injury for the Guerrero fight, which kept me from doing pretty much anything when it boxing related the last 3-4 weeks of camp. So we had to change things up for that one. Thankfully, I had been in camp long enough that it allowed me to finish up the fight and make weight and everything be okay. But I mean, I did have the shoulder injury right before the Guerrero fight. So I mean, it's always going to happen, though. It's something that we kind of rely on. Not rely, but we count on it. We count on having these little nagging things that happen before and during camp, and we just got to work through it.
Now, layoffs can be a blessing and they can be a curse because sometimes, obviously, like as Eric mentioned about ring rust, that could always factor in. But also, too, with a layoff, you give your body a chance to heal. Do you feel as though this layoff has enabled you to heal from all those injuries? And do you feel 100% healthy because you had time to rest and relax and recover now? Yeah,
definitely. And I healed in more ways than just physically. I did a lot of spiritual healing, a lot of emotional healing, a lot of, I took care of a lot of issues that I had lingering. My parents are going through a divorce and all that stuff. So, all that factors in. And honestly, I feel like this time off, like you said, has been a blessing in disguise. And even though it sucks and, I would have rather been fighting, I've taken a lot of care of a lot of stuff that was hurting my personal life.
Okay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you were fighting at welterweight for a couple of fights. You're coming back down to junior welterweight. How has that transition been? Is there any concern? Do you feel confident? Are you on weight as we speak? Are you closing in on 140? Are you going to make the weight comfortably, do you see?
Oh yeah, we're closing in on the weight. I mean, there's no need to be on weight a week before the fight. You know that you take away the whole purpose of having that advantage of, you know, being a little bit heavy in the beginning and whatnot. But no, we shouldn't have any problem with weight. Everything seems to be going good.
Now, I know Eric talked about, you know, what you wanted to do after this fight, but I'm going to ask a question in terms of weight. Are you going to stay at 140 or are you going to go up to 147 again? What weight class do you think is ideal for you?
Wherever the money's at, that's where I'm going.
Good answer. Very, very, very good answer. Very good answer. Well, that was my last question, Omar. Thank you so much, and I'm glad that you're back. I'm really excited about watching you fight next week. You're a great fighter, and you're very entertaining to watch, and I'm sure next week's fight is going to be a barn burner, and I look forward to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, man. Good luck, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Awesome. What a great interview, man. What a
I was
great
about,
interview. Yeah.
I was about to say, those are awesome. Those are awesome, awesome answers. I like, you see how like he kind of tripped me up a little bit, but I kind of recovered pretty well from that because it does say 147.
It does. And you know what? As you were doing this, I looked on BoxRec. And,
it says 147 too?
And it says 147 as well. As soon as he said that, I went straight to I went to ESPN and double checked, you know, because I sent you the notes beforehand and you know, and it said welterweight on ESPN. I double checked it on ESPN. Sure enough, it says welterweight. Then I went to BoxRec, and then it said welterweight on there as well. So not that it matters, not that he cares about it. I mean, he knows what he's contracted for, not us, you know.
Yeah.
It's just interesting, man. That's a big screw up, especially because he has been fighting at 147. You know, and then to come back down.
That's a bad move. Plus it says the fight is 10 rounds, and then he said it's 12. He goes 10 or 12 rounds, whatever I got to do.
Well, it did say the fight was 12 rounds. Now on ESPN, it did say the fight was 12 rounds.
On BoxRec, it says 10.
Does it? Let me see. I mean, I agree with you, but let me just 10 rounds. And ESPN must have it really well. I mean, ESPN had it 12 rounds, and I was surprised. Typically, they reserve that for title fights. I mean, we've seen it the other way before. But, he's a welterweight. They've got them both listed as welterweight. And, 10 rounds, you know, according to BoxRec. So, yeah, that makes sense. But coming back, you know, I wish I would have asked him about coming down in weight. You know, I mean, because he's you know, he was 135. He was a 135-pound champion for a long time. Then he moves up to 147, and now to move back down to 140. But I wonder if this is the only weight that he could have fought at, you know?
Well, you know, he is a lot thicker than John Molina. John Molina is a thin guy.
Yeah, he is.
He's bigger bone than John Molina.
He looks like that guy from Punch-Out, doesn't he, John Molina?
He does.
Remember that Flamenco? Was it Don Flamenco or something like that? He does. He looks dead on, that guy.
Or Glass Joe or something like that. He looks like
yeah,
he looks like Glass Joe.
Yeah.
Everyone says that to
him. That's funny, man. That is funny.
That's gonna be a good fight.
Jason wanted to ask. He wanted us to ask a question about. He wanted us to ask him about what Al Heyman likes, or what's a favorite. And I didn't want to ask it because.
That's a corny question.
Well, it's a corny question, but you know, the interview's about Omar Figueroa, not Al Heyman.
Yeah.
You know, tell us what you like about Al Heyman. You know, or tell us a fan. You know, tell us a fan thing about Al Heyman. No, you don't ask us good. You know, the interview's about him, man, not Al Heyman. If I want to ask him an Al Heyman question, I'll ask him an Al Heyman question, but not like that.
Yeah, they said in the chat he looks like Glass Joe.
Yeah.
Jason. Oh, are we still live?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, okay. I don't know if we're still live.
What are you watching?
Sorry, I went on the YouTube because I thought we weren't live.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, any news going on here? I didn't see any. Let me see if I can bring some up here real quick. Let me check the wires, see what's going on. Do you think? I think that's a pretty easy fight, though. For not easy fight, but I think he wins handily.
Yeah, I think he beats him. Yeah.
You know, I mean, John Molina, you know, he wins one, he loses two, he wins one, you know, wins a couple, and then he's, you know, I don't know. I mean, but I tell you what, I mean, the thing about John Molina is that you look at his record, man, it's a who's who. It really is. It's a who's who. He's been in there with every major guy in that division, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Anything?
Beeb going all Beavis. What's that mean, Jason?
Beeb going all Beavis. Jason Vela is Duck Tank. Okay, great.
Oh, I'm not even concerned about that.
Who cares?
Whether he did or he didn't, I don't know.
And again, it couldn't be, you know, maybe he wasn't ready. Maybe there's a million different things. Maybe he's, you know, got his eye on somebody else. You know. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. Not much going on today.
Well, let's take a poll in the chat. Who wins this fight next week, Figueroa or Molina? Because honestly, this fight's probably going to be a lot more entertaining than Leo Santa Cruz's fight. No disrespect to Leo Santa Cruz.
Oh, yeah. These guys, I tell you what, they both come after you. I thought that was a great question you asked about his hands and about how, you know, but he said, you know, hey, I stand, you know, it's the best place for me to be is inside like that, which I found interesting, man.
Yeah. Jason says Omar by KO.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he's not.
I agree with that
100%. Anyone the distance, I'll tell you that. No matter which way it goes, and I don't think it's you know, I think it's definitely not going the distance for sure.
Jason, that's correct. That a lot of people did not think the Thurman fight was going to be entertaining, but I think Leo Santa Cruz is going to be too much. It's going to be too much next week. I think the skill gap is even greater than and you know and Santa Cruz isn't coming off a layoff like Thurman either. So
that's the only thing that concerns me about Figueroa is that long layoff. You know, again, he hasn't fought since July 2017, wasn't it? Isn't that what I said? 2017.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's a long layoff. And
that's correct.
You know, and I tell you, I do disagree with him. Obviously, he knows more about it than I do. But ring rust is a real thing, and it's different. I mean, I believe it is. You know, but I got to tell you, I mean, he did look good against Guerrero. There's no question about that.
Yeah, he did. He did look good against Guerrero.
You know, but
that is,
you know, Guerrero's his type of fight, and I think that Molina's his type of fighter too.
Wow. Jason wants to get put on speaker. Let me fill in for Robbie. Let me fill in for Robbie Kim, he said.
Let me fill in for Robbie Kim.
All right, give me a call. I want to see.
Well, just call the Blog Talk number. He can get on.
You can call the Blog Talk number.
Call the Blog Talk number.
We're on Blog Talk right now.
Yeah, we're not going to be on much longer, but yeah.
We'll let you give your take on this event next week. You can bring you in. Call the Blog Talk.
Yeah, we'll take some phone calls. I mean, if anybody wants to call in.
Anybody wants to call in? Yeah. Anyone wants to call in? Feel free to call in.
We are going to have to start streamlining some of those calls, though, man. I'll tell you what. We're going to start streamlining them anyway. Figueroa versus WWS fighters. Yeah. Listen, I don't know who wins. Corey just asked a great question. Figueroa versus the World Boxing Super Series fighter, Josh Taylor, Regis Prograis. What do you guys think? I think it's great. I don't know who wins those fights, but, man, those are good fights.
Yeah,
I would give the edge to Taylor over Figueroa, and him and Prograis. My God, that would be a good fight.
A lot of people think Josh Taylor is the best, and they have an argument for that. But I like Prograis.
I think those are the two best. Put it that way.
Yeah.
I think those are the two best.
I think you definitely have to favor. You would have to favor Josh Taylor and Regis Prograis over Figueroa. But let's see how he looks next week. You know.
I'm anxious to see. Yeah, I'm anxious to see how he does. I'm anxious to see Molina. I'm anxious to see how Molina looks because, in my opinion, this could be a real crossroads fight for him.
Yeah,
this could be. You know, if he doesn't perform well, if he doesn't put on a good show in the sense that he's pretty competitive and this and that, I mean, you know, that's not a good thing for him. You know, especially at this, you know, advanced stage in his career. So this is kind of a do or die, you know, kind of fight for him in my eyes. I don't, you know, whether it is or not. I mean, that's you know, not up to me, but kind of how I look at it for him.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, and I think you know, in a lot of ways for Figueroa too. I mean, he's got to go in there and he's got to look good. And he's got to be the guy that, you know, ran right through Guerrero. You know what I mean? He's got to look good. He's not, you know, at 140, I looked the ratings up at 140 and 147. I don't think he's ranked in any of the sanctions. At 147 for sure he's not. But at 140 he's not ranked either, Omar Figueroa. And I think that if he and I think there could be maybe if the fight is, you know, and he said the fight's taking place at 140. And that might be the issue because my rationale is, well, if he's got yet to pick a weight class and settle down, you know what I mean? If he's going up and he's going down, maybe they like the 140 weight class for him. You know what I mean? Maybe they figure he fits in better there. Maybe he's stronger. Maybe he's a better weight. You know, because remember he's coming up from 135. That's not a that. Listen, man, when you go from 135 to, because he had one fight at 140. Everything else has been, he jumped from 135 to 147. You know.
I should have asked him how he thinks the fight's, like if he thinks the fight's going to end in a knockout. I forgot to ask him that.
Yeah. Now, he did say, I saw an interview with him or whatever, he fought Errol Spence. I didn't know he fought Errol Spence in the amateurs, and I think he beat him. I think he beat Errol Spence in the amateurs.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. I mean, 23 years. I mean, think about that, man. I mean, that's a long time.
Yeah. People look at these guys, and they say he's only 30, but again, like Lomachenko, when you have a long amateur career like that, that's, you know, it's almost like looking at a boxer in dog years, basically, when you have 300 amateur fights, and then you're going to transition that into the pros.
All right, let's see here. Jason, you're on.
What's going on, guys? I didn't say to ask him what Al Heyman likes. I said ask him what Al Heyman. Ask him one thing about Heyman that nobody would know because he's such a mystery in boxing. You idiot! That's what I was trying to tell you.
That's such a whole question, son. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, but he's like the biggest mystery in boxing. Like you never ask questions that are related to the fucking sport. That is so related to the sport.
Tell us about Al Heyman.
Dude, just 2 weeks ago, your grandfather Aaron was saying Heyman doesn't even exist. He's a ghost. He's a mystery. He's a fucking myth. Like that's the perfect question to ask Omar because Omar has been with Heyman for like 10 years. Why wouldn't you ask him? That's like the perfect question to ask him.
That's not a perfect question to ask him because the interview was about Omar. The interview is not about Al Heyman.
You're such an idiot, man. Come on, you're always like living in the tiny little box here. Jesus. I mean, if you don't ask fucking, why are you calling me from the podcast? I'm getting a call from a podcast or something.
I'm not calling you from anywhere, son.
But that's how you grow the show, man. You need to do more shows. You need to do more than one show a week. That's how you're going to grow this brand, bro.
I agree with you, Jason. We do need to do more shows. You're 100%.
Maybe like a midweek, a 1 hour show.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. Yeah, I got to be honest, man. I really don't mind that. We got to figure it out. I got soccer coming up soon, but yeah, we got to figure that out.
Wednesday's a good day to do shows.
Soccer? What, your kids play soccer?
Yeah, coach.
It's freezing over there. It's not soccer weather. Yeah, it's probably freezing in Ohio still.
Yeah, that's how we do it over here, son. Title town. Never start too early.
You don't realize what goes on over here.
Yeah. It's a weird place, Ohio. I've never been to Ohio.
Yeah.
Don't play around. We don't play around in the OHI.
OH, baby.
Jason Velez just came out and said they offered him the fight. he just didn't think it was enough time for him to be ready. But he said he liked the money, but he wished he would have taken the fight.
Isn't Jason Velez top rank?
No, he fought Ryan Garcia on Golden Boy. I think he's just free agent. I think he's one of those guys.
Oh, he's free agent?
Or he's like with Cotto or something. Yeah, I think so. Like a Rosado. But what do you think? I think Tank would knock that kid out too. He's not special to be that far.
Tank would kill him. Tank would kill him.
Ryan Garcia was running for his life against that kid. Like, he was hugging him for dear life. That's how bad he is, Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
Did you watch that fight? Ryan Garcia Velez?
No. I think I missed
it was on ESPN too a while back.
Yeah. It was. I think it was on.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that fight. I don't remember a lot of it, but I've seen it. I remember that.
I may have saw it, but I don't remember it. He lost. I know he.
Think about the 10. I think. Go ahead.
No, I said I know he lost to Joseph Diaz, and I know he lost to Ronnie Rio. He lost a lot of guys.
Well, also Machado said he's not sure if he wants a rematch. What do you think about that? That's kind of weak.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
He said, is that what he said? He said
he
doesn't want a rematch?
Yeah, so dude, you're doing a fucking podcast. How do you not know that?
Well, we don't follow just rumors, man. If it's not in print, we don't.
Boxing Scene is the only website I really follow for. I only go to one website for boxing news. That's not Boxing Scene. How do you not go to that site? Like, I go to that site like 20 times a day.
Yeah,
you should have that site.
It is on Boxing.
You should have that shit pulled up on your screen when you're doing the show, Eric. Don't be such a little fucking turd. Come on, bro.
You're such a little homo.
You're not Robbie. You're not living in the 70s. Come on, man.
You're in here for Robbie.
You could have boxing.
You're in here for Robbie today. That means he took a beating yesterday, man. That means you're the whipping boy today, son. Everybody was jumping. Why was everybody jumping on Robbie yesterday, man?
I hate to turn turncoat on Robbie, but
how dare you?
He deserved it yesterday. He was irritating.
Dare you?
He was interrupting. He was even interrupting the blog talk lady.
Blog talk lady.
I mean, this guy probably like interrupts the lady at the checkout line. 340. How much? You know, I mean, you can't get a word in edgewise with this kid.
How dare you guys, man?
I mean, Robbie always interrupts when you start making a point. He always jumps in when Robbie make a point.
Look at you guys calling my boy Robert, man. What's wrong with you people?
Oh, I went in on him yesterday.
Did you see it, Eric? You see it? It's the top headline. Did you see it?
No, I didn't go there yet.
Jason Velez is the #1 headline. Alberto Machado is the #2 headline. Are you still not seeing it? Ohio must have slow internet, man. Come on.
No,
Jesus Christ.
I got a show to run, son.
Wow, he's using
in front of me. I got like 50 screens in front of me right now.
He's saying
it's on there. It's the main page of Boxing Scene, dude. The top two headlines are Velez and Alberto Machado.
In front of me. You have no idea what goes on here. Trust me.
Jason. You hear what he said? He's saying he had a hard time making weight. He said he felt exhausted. My body was drained. Yeah. It was not surprising what Casino did in the fight. The fight plan was that was the fight plan he was going to do.
I watched the fight late last night. He looked weak to me. I don't know if it was the weight.
No, I said that.
Body shots that concealed.
I said that yesterday. He got broken down very easily and he couldn't recover. He's saying
too easy.
Yeah, he's saying he was drained. He said he was exhausted. My body was drained. It was not surprising what Cancino did to me. That was the fight plan that Cancino was going to do. We were prepared for that, but I did not feel with the same energy. I did not feel with the same energy as usual with that strength to stop him. I'm well disciplined with my training, but this time I think I should prepare with a little more time. I think that is what I really needed in this fight. So basically, he doesn't want to go right into a rematch. He needs. He says he needs time to.
Or might move up to 135. He is.
But he did not. He did not look like himself in there. He didn't. Something looked weird in that fight.
Yeah, like Cancino wasn't a big puncher, man. The punches he landed on his body didn't even look like big shots. I mean, if you're getting hurt by that. You shouldn't be a top-level fighter anyway. But, guys like Dougie Fisher down back to earth, and everybody's shocked, but he was never a...
Well, everyone was accusing Tanka ducking him, too. But I don't think Tank would have had problems with that version of him I saw on Saturday. Jason still there?
I don't know. Jason, are you there? Nope, he's gone. Let's go to Corey. Robert just called me. I went ahead and just texted him. I said, call Blog Talk.
Hey, y'all.
What's up, Corey?
Corey! We don't have Robbie here, so you're not going to get interrupted.
Hey.
I think he's calling, though. I think he is calling in.
Oh,
Let's see.
It's all good, man.
Corey Lee.
Man,
I told Beeb, check this out. All right, so check this out, Corey. So while you were talking, a lot of times me and Beeb will text each other during the show to like, hey, I've got to do this or I've got to do that or say this or say that. And I told him while you were talking, I said, say it. I said, say banger real loud.
He wanted me to interrupt you when you were talking.
While you were talking, when you called back, I said, say banger real loud.
After you already pissed at Robbie for interrupting, he wanted me to piss you off more by interrupting you again. I said, I can't do that to my boy, man.
Here, hold on. Let me bring Robert on.
I was like, man, y'all can have it, man.
Robert, can you hear me?
Yeah, but
what's up, guys?
Good, man.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Oh, Robbie.
Get him, Corey.
Oh, my God. What's the chance of that happening? As soon as y'all answer my call, Robbie comes back. Oh, my God.
Eric, I was actually calling you for a different reason. Did you have any trouble uploading the podcast last night?
No. Is it not there?
No? Okay. Well, no, it's there, but we're having difficulty uploading it on the system that I use. And so I told the guy, I said, well, I'll check with you and see if you had any issues.
Let's see.
Should be good. But yeah, I just wanted to call and tell y'all guys about Omar Figueroa, man. It did sound like he was in a bad place, man, listening to y'all's interview, man. It looked like he definitely hit some ups and downs, in his boxing career. But through it all, man, what's the craziest thing about his whole story is that he's still undefeated, man. Like,
yeah,
it's just mind-boggling, man.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Corey. That's a damn good point.
It's just like, I'm just like, wow, man. Like, he was supposed to fight this guy. That didn't go down. He got sick or the guy got hurt. He was supposed to fight this guy. That didn't happen. We heard about, he might have fought Earl Spence. He was getting ready to fight, another guy, and then that didn't go through. Like he was saying, he said he doesn't even get up for fights anymore because he doesn't know if he's going to twist his ankle or what's going to happen, So he said all he can do is just take it one day at a time. And, I just think that, Omar Figueroa is definitely that dark horse that is still lurking around, man, and that can cause problems, with anybody from 147 all the way down to 140. I think he could possibly be top 3 or top 2 fighters at 140 if he can consistently make that weight, man. I think
are you talking about the one that fought on Saturday?
Go ahead, Rob.
He can't help himself. He can't help himself.
I gotta let you know. All right, so what happened is that Beeb and Corey were going on about last night about you interrupting because they said that you had you just interrupted. It is what it is, and I defended you a little bit. I defended you. Right? Everybody knows I defend Robert, But so Corey's right in the middle of something. You just interrupted him again. I'm just saying.
Well,
it was just funny. It was just funny to me.
Remember, I just called in, so I don't know what this is all about.
No,
I know.
Don't make excuses for your poor etiquette. Don't make excuses.
No, but look, Robbie, they did an interview with Omar Figueroa. It was like a special show they're doing right now, man. And we're live on air right now. So everybody can hear you live on air, cutting me off again, man. But it's all good, man.
Well, I wasn't trying to cut you off, man.
I'm just joking.
We're all messing with you.
But
busting your balls,
yeah,
Robbie.
man. Omar Figueroa was just saying that the trials and tribulations of his career and the ups and downs that he's had. And I said, Robbie, with everything that's been said and done on Omar Figueroa's career, I mean, he is still undefeated. I mean, it's highly unlikely as that is, being in all of these dog fights. I mean, he was in a fight with Robert Guerrero, that went back and forth. He devastatingly stopped Robert Guerrero, something that Keith Thurman, I really didn't see the same out of Keith Thurman. Was that the same Robert Guerrero when Omar Figueroa fought him? Probably not, but it was still the devastating power that he had against Robert Guerrero. And Robert Guerrero, just after like the fourth or fifth knockdown, Beebs, he just looked at the referee and said, "No, man, I'm not getting back up."
Yeah. He made a decision. He made a decision right then and there. His career was over.
Yeah.
Probably. That's why he didn't get up.
Yeah. I mean, he looked.
And from what I'm hearing now, he's coming back.
Oh, he said he's coming back too?
I'm hearing now Robert Guerrero's coming back.
Well, he did have a comeback fight, a week or two ago?
Oh, yeah, he had a fight 1 month ago.
Yeah, man.
Man, that's not a good idea, man.
Wow. That's right, he did come back. I forgot about that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, now I know what you're talking about. I remember that fight. Omar Figueroa beat the daylights out of him, man. He has no business being back in the ring.
I got a question.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Corey. I got a question.
Go ahead. You say you got a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, that version of Omar Figueroa that destroyed Robert Guerrero. How does he do against that Keith Thurman we saw a couple weeks ago? That version.
I think he did. I think he destroys Keith Thurman if that version of Omar Figueroa shows up.
Yeah.
Wow.
It just depends. I mean, my personal opinion, you guys, is I think that Omar Figueroa has flaws, just like Josecito Lopez. I do think he's a lot better fighter than Josecito Lopez, but he does get hit. So that scares me, and at that 147-pound division, him getting hit by the likes of a Keith Thurman and a Earl Spence, just because his defense, because you can't even put a Omar Figueroa on the same level as a Mikey Garcia with just the defense aspect alone, just the defensive aspect alone. Having your guard up, being aware of all your punches that are getting thrown at you at all times. He's not aware of all of those. I mean, of any of those, I've seen Omar Figueroa get hurt before, and, it's a difference between getting hurt at 140 and then getting hurt at 147. It's a light year difference, okay? We're talking about two different, whole different, career. I truly think the style that Omar Figueroa has, if he were to have kept that up, I think it was kind of a blessing in disguise that he might have tweaked his ankle, that he might not have made that fight, that he might not have made this fight. I'm not trying to make excuses for the guy, but I truly do not believe that he would still be undefeated right now if he did not have any injuries in his career. I'm just being honest with you guys. What do you guys think?
Make a good point.
So you're saying that if he wasn't injured, or if he didn't have any injuries, he may not be undefeated.
I agree.
I don't think he would be, man. I don't think he would be.
Well,
I don't think he would be.
Yeah.
Well, Eric, you had Danny Garcia beating him on your card.
Yeah. Yeah, I sure did.
I mean, I had him beating Danny Garcia and beating Sean Porter 115 to 113. So those fights were in.
Oh! Y'all talking about Keith Thurman? I'm talking about Omar Figueroa.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I'm not so sure about because he had that draw earlier in his career, and I mean, I think it depends. I think I think we're going to see. I think this is a good stepping stone for him on Saturday with Molina. I think it's a good crossroads fight for Molina also. But yeah, I think it just depends. I mean, we'll see how he looks on Saturday. But
well, Eric, I don't know how much John Molina's got left.
Yeah, he's been in some
I'm talking about. Well, John Molina's fighting Omar Figueroa, but this is what I wanted to tell you guys. Just because I might have, y'all might not have understood what I was trying to say, but I'm talking about Omar Figueroa and his career right now. This is what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about if he didn't tweak his ankle and pull out a certain fight, if he didn't, get injured during camp, or get the, we got to call a spade, you guys. We talk about other fighters on this show about the stuff they do outside of the ring. We got to talk about Omar Figueroa as well. He got caught, drinking and driving or whatever the case was, and that hindered his career as well because, remember, he had to pull out of that fight because of that. Remember, you guys? Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's correct.
Wasn't that the Bronner fight? Was that the Bronner fight he had to pull out?
That was the Bronner fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Bronner
I remember
fight,
that.
man. And I'm being honest with you guys. We gotta call a spade, man. If we're gonna talk about that about another fighter, we gotta talk about that a bit. I wish you guys would have asked him that. I know, that's kind of like, maybe not the best thing to ask, but I mean, man, sometimes, man, you got to ask these tough questions, man, because
but let me ask you this.
Do this to their career. They did this to their career.
Right, but let me ask you this. So we asked him what about the DUI?
I mean, we just say, how do you feel about it? What were you thinking? Why, what was going on in your mind?
And what he's going to say? And you know what he's going to say? He's going to give the stock answer that every one of them
What'd you say, B?
No, I'm saying that's a tough spot. I mean, I feel
the same answer. He's going to give you the answer like he's going to say, "Well, that's in the past. I learned my lesson from it." That kind of thing. I mean, what do you think he's going to say?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a canned answer.
I mean, all I'm saying is, it's different coming from me and you and me, you, Beebs, and Robbie coming out of our mouths. But I would want to hear it come out of the fighter's mouth.
No, you're right. It's a tough
question. Want to hear what happened, man? Because let's be honest, you guys. Once that happened, Omar Figueroa pretty much fell off the planet Earth.
Corey, think about this.
He actually did. He actually alluded to that. If you guys listen to the interview, and B, you know this too, as he said when he was talking about like cleansing his life and everything like that. I felt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of what he was talking about.
Yeah, he has some personal problems going on. He has some demons.
You could tell. I mean, and
he has some demons, man. He has
demons.
And you could tell. When he was talking about because we talked about the injuries, and then he was talking about and he kind of went on like a. He kind of explained it, and it explained that what he's doing for the injuries, and he talked about cleaning up his life and that kind of thing. And I think to me that's alluding to the DUI. It doesn't need to be. To me, it doesn't need to be brought up because. A couple of things here.
Now, I didn't get to hear.
Robert, you just interrupted him. Robert, you just interrupted him. You can't do that.
It's okay. It's okay. I was actually finishing the point.
Robbie, you gotta watch the whole episode over again, Robbie.
But
you heard him talking, Robert. You heard him talking. You heard him talking. You cut him right off.
Nah, go ahead, Robbie.
My question would be though, are you trying to? You're not comparing this, Eric, to like the Tyson Fury situation, are you?
No, not at all. Tyson Fury is a different. I mean, that's a different animal. He was caught one time on a DUI.
Okay.
But no, that's not really a question. I'd much rather come at him with different questions from different angles, I guess. Would be the best way to put it because
that makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, but Eric, no matter which way you asked him, like it would have been a tough sell. It'd have been a tough question in a ways, but like I said, man, it would have been. I see what you're saying, like the platform that y'all are on right now. I mean, asking somebody about a DUI, asking somebody about drinking or having problems like that is never It's never like easy to ask a fighter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the other thing you risk. Let me tell you, the other thing you risk when you ask them those type of questions is that they kind of shut down on the interview. And not that somebody comes in and says, all right, that's enough, but just the fact that he starts giving you one-word answers and doesn't elaborate on anything. I mean, you want the guy, you want people to feel comfortable when you interview him. You don't want him to be on edge waiting for the next question about, the hooker he bought last week in Vegas. You want him, like, at ease, and so he could tell you anything.
Oh. But yeah, man, with the whole interview situation with, Omar Figueroa, do you guys think that, Omar Figueroa's, almost rock star-like life? Because I was hearing rumblings about his dealings outside of the ring and some of the problems he's had outside of the ring. I was hearing that kind of on the hardcore level of boxing fans. Boxing fans would come into my, my live streams and they would say, look, I'm in Texas and, Omar Figueroa is a drinker. He goes hard as fuck when he's drinking. And, I'm not from Texas area. I don't know anything about the whole culture out there, but, they're pretty much saying that, this was inevitable for Omar Figueroa to happen, because he had a problem. But, like you said, he did allude to that he might have changed his life around, and I'm all for that, second chances and stuff like that, man. But I would have loved to see that Broner fight. After seeing Broner and Pacquiao, obviously, Broner, I feel like Omar Figueroa has more of a Jesse Vargas-ish style, more of a Josecito Lopez type style, not like a Pacquiao style. I think Pacquiao has his own style. But how do you guys think that Omar Figueroa matches up with a Broner now?
It's a bad style matchup.
If they were able to make that fight happen again.
Yeah, it's a bad style matchup for Broner then.
That's one of your Ohio guys, though, Eric.
I agree, but listen, man.
That's one of your Ohio guys.
Listen, man, you got to call it like you see it, man. I mean, Broner, he's going to have a tough time with anybody now. I think he's at that point in his career. I really do.
Eric, let me ask you this, and let me ask Beeb and Robbie this too, you guys.
Beeb actually stepped out, so it's just
I don't want to kind of switch up. Oh, okay, just you and Robbie. Okay, well, I want to hear what Robbie has to say on this one as well. With this whole situation with Broner, I don't want to switch subject because I kind of want to, but I think that Figueroa-Broner fight might happen in the near future just because Omar Figueroa is still undefeated if he can get by, the fight this weekend. But do you guys think that, Broner going to this second tier part of his career, I'm going to throw this out there, but I don't know if you guys are going to agree with me 100%, man, but I'm going to stand firm on this, man, but Broner is so eager to fight again. He's already talking about he's going to fight again in June. Do you guys think that Broner can get possibly, hurt towards the second half of his career fighting these elite-level fighters? I mean, because I truly think he can, man. I honestly, you're good. Go ahead, bro.
I honestly think that Adrian Broner should not worry about boxing anymore. Every time he stepped up and fought somebody on a higher level, he has not been able to handle the stage. I mean, he can beat these lower level guys, but whenever he fought Sean Porter, he lost. He lost.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the only one that's ever knocked Porter down, but he knocked him down in the 12th round, and it was basically a flash knockdown. I don't know if Adrian Broner can ever get up to the kind of stage that he was on a couple of weeks ago. I really don't know what his future holds, but as far as an active fighter, I don't think there's very much left. Now, Eric, you're in Cincinnati. You're a Broner guy. Do you honestly think that he can do anything?
No, I don't. Like I said, man, I think it's. I think he can still command some big paydays. He'll still be in line for paydays. But let me tell you, and you had talked about what is it? Will he get hurt? I guess that was the question. Will he get hurt?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Because Adrian Broner is a safety-first fighter. And so he does a very good job. He does a great job with defense. I don't see him getting hurt per se, but I don't see him winning a whole lot either.
But Eric, if you were his handlers and involved in his career, would you encourage him to continue, knowing the fact that he may not win another big fight?
Listen, man. I mean, he does look good in the gym. When you watch him in the gym, he looks good, and you don't know when he's going to put it together. I just don't think he will put it together. He just doesn't throw enough punches. Now that's not to say he's not competitive. He's absolutely competitive, and he was competitive in the Pacquiao fight, but he lost.
But let me ask you guys this though, Eric. This is the reason why I'm asking you guys this. Why would Broner keep taking this punishment? Obviously, you're going to get these paydays. Obviously, he spends a lot of money. Obviously, he needs to make a lot of money. But if you're not going to fucking win these fights, why are you putting your body through camp? Why are you putting your body through the brutal beatdowns that you're taking? Obviously, Broner has good defense. I got to give him that. His defense is exceptionally well. Obviously, he has no offense, as we all know. Broner's offense, could possibly be a C-, and I might be giving him a letter. But, you know, like I said, I just truly think that why are you in the sport if you know you're not going to significantly win a fight or you're not even going to be competitive, because he was not even competitive against Sean Porter or Pacquiao. Not even competitive,
Didn't
you
he
guys.
knock Porter down on the 12th?
It was not even close.
Did he knock Porter down on the 12th?
Yeah, but, I mean, that was like a flash knockdown. And
flash
he didn't
knockdown?
Any round before that, Eric. Come on. We got to call a spade a spade. Okay, all right, Eric.
That was not a flash knockdown. That was a big knockdown.
I just don't think. What?
Now that being said, he lost the Porter fight. No question.
Down, Eric.
Huh? Say that again.
I said he didn't stay down.
Well, no, he didn't.
I said Sean Porter didn't stay down. He got knocked down, but he got right back up.
Yeah, but what's that have to do with anything? Doesn't mean he didn't get hit. You know, and I'm not saying he won the fight. He clearly lost the fight. I had him losing every round up until that one.
Right.
But
I just think if they ask, you know, Omar Figueroa after this win, well, I'm not going to say after this win. He has to win first, because let's be honest, you guys. John Molina, we can call it what it may, man, but John Molina is a very game fighter. Do you guys think that John Molina could possibly pull off the upset this weekend?
He's game, but I don't know how much he's got left.
Yeah, you know what? I think he can. No, I think he can. And listen, I mean, hey, nobody thought Machado was going to lose this weekend. Yeah, listen, man,
right.
he absolutely can pull off the upset. This guy, listen, just like I alluded to this earlier in the show, and the fact is that John Molina has got an outstanding resume in the sense that he has fought every guy out there. At the end of the day, man, that's got to count for something. So does he have a chance?
Yep.
Yes. Does he have a big chance? I don't think so. I think Omar Figueroa wins handily, but you should, you know, you'd be silly to overlook this guy.
Hey, you know John Molina in that Mickey Bay fight, that 12th round home run that Steve Fallhood said. Steve Fallhood said that John Molina needs a bases loaded, knockoff home run, or whatever, however you call it in baseball terms. And then with a minute left, and I seen Mayweather's face deteriorate in front of my eyes with his, you know, undefeated prize fighter completely blew his load, dude. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude. Like, the way John Molina came back and beat this dude and knocked this dude out, it was just, I don't even think I've ever seen a fight like that. Have you guys ever seen a guy lose pretty much every round, and you know he pulls the cat out of the hat?
You're pretty much describing a lot of Arturo Gotti's fights. That's how a lot of his fights were. He would up and he would be cut. He would have cuts over his eyes. He'd practically have his eyes closed, and yet out of nowhere, he'd end up winning the damn fights.
But that's what I'm saying, you guys. That's what we're dealing with this weekend, you know, because like Eric was saying, you can't count John Molina out until the bell sounds. And is it going to be a 10 round or is it going to be a 12 round? Because
I'm sure it's going to be 10.
10 rounds, and check this out. The other thing he said in there that surprised me, it's at 140. 10 rounds at 140.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that benefits Omar Figueroa. If he can, like I said earlier in when I first started, I said, you know, if Omar Figueroa, and this is what I said in the chat. Remember, Eric? I said if Omar Figueroa can make this weight 140 pounds, you know, who's to say we can't see him versus the guy Arvin Barnacek or whatever his name. Excuse me, I'm butchering his name, but he's a champion now. You know, because they're saying that they got Arvin Barnacek. Remember, he's pulling out of the WBSS tournament. Who's to say if that WBSS tournament at one time with pretty much all of the belts, who's to say that tournament even continues?
I have a feeling that whole thing's going to go to court.
Go ahead, Robbie.
You know?
Well, you know what? I tell you, and I don't know that Branchek is actually, I mean, I know what his handler's saying, I know what his manager says and everything like that, but it sounds like they got a contract and it's pretty tight. So, you know, listen, man, if Branchek comes out of that thing, you know, it might just be easier for him to stay in it, because otherwise his career may be put on hold with court and everything like that. I mean, and nobody wants to see that. So I don't know, man. If I were Branchek and I was handlers, I would tread real light, man. I would be real careful here.
I would bite the bullet and stay where you are and win the fights.
Well, before I head off, you guys, I want to ask you guys: is B back yet?
No.
He's still gone.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me ask you guys this: who do you guys think is the best fighter at 140 pounds? You guys. My personal opinion is I think Regis Prograis is the best fighter, but I know Robbie, you like Josh Taylor.
I like
so
Josh
what do you
Taylor
guys
too.
think?
I like Josh Taylor.
Yeah, no. I would love to see those two fight, but I don't know if we ever will. I mean, I like Prograis. I always have, because I started following him when he started appearing on Showbox. But Prograis needs to be in these big fights. That's why he got involved in the tournament. So we'll see what happens. And last night, talk about a couple of 140-pound fights. Those were good last night. Did you guys watch those?
I caught highlights of it. I didn't catch them all.
I think Jose. Hey Eric, I think Jose Ramirez, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've said this from day one, you guys, because we're not getting off topic because I feel like we're still talking about 140 pounds right now, and it's crazy, you guys. All of these fighters that we just naming right now, they're all fighting at 140, man. Could this be the new hotbed of boxing, you guys?
Absolutely.
Well, Jose, he had to work last night to pull that out. I had it scored a draw, man. I thought he was very easy going to lose that title last night.
There you go.
I mean, and Eric and Robbie, if you almost had him losing last night, what is a Regis Prograis, which was supposed to be the mandatory for Jose Ramirez? What does he do to him?
Oh,
well, you know what? That's going to be a hell of a fight when it happens, and it will happen because he's still listed as the mandatory. So it will eventually happen once he's done with the tournament.
There you go. All right, Corey, we're going to get running, Mags.
But will Jose Ramirez still have the belt, though, Robbie?
Yeah, it's a good question.
We'll see, because last night he took the guy lightly, in my opinion.
All right, Corey, we're going to get running, man. We got to. I'm going to wrap this thing up.
All right, y'all. I'm out, man. You guys have a great night, man. It's a spontaneous show, man. Shout out to everybody, man. You guys have a great night. I'm at Corey Lee's Boxing. You guys subscribe to Ringside Reporter. Later, you guys.
Sir.
See ya.
Man. Corey Lee. All right. So,
I felt kind of unprepared because I came in the middle of all this.
Well, it was funny. You called me, and I was like, just call in, man. I was like, just call in. We interviewed Omar Figueroa and about his fight coming up with John Molina and that kind of thing. So make sure to download it. As far as the thing yesterday, I downloaded the podcast. I downloaded it and downloaded just fine. So we were okay.
Okay. Then it must be the system that we use.
Right.
Yes, the FCC coming down on you, Robbie. The FCC is coming down on you.
FCC. All right, we're going to go to Jason real quick, man. Jason, make it brief because we're going to wrap this thing up, man. We've been on here for an hour. I got stuff to do, guys. All right, you're on.
Stop, Robbie. You need to reset your AOL connection, dude. Stop complaining. Come on.
No. I'm not. My connections are fine. I'm talking about the system I put the podcast on itself.
I'm just kidding. And what's your Twitter? Do you use that Robert Herrick account or no?
Ringside.
No. It's at Ringside Robert.
What's your Ringside Robert? Would Robert Herrick is the old account? What's that?
No, Ringside Robert is my account, man. That's the one I have on Twitter. I don't have any others.
Do you ever check it though, Robert?
Is that the one that's Eric on it?
No, Eric. I don't have a way to check the thing right now.
Okay.
Matter of fact, you've got all the stuff to check that. I don't.
Do I?
The internet in the Cali woods must be bad, in the California woods, Humboldt County and stuff.
California,
we understand.
Baby's right by the beach.
Believe me, it's been pretty hectic around here.
In the redwoods.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see Robbie? You were talking about Ruiz. Jason Velez dug Tank work, dude. They offered him the fight.
He didn't duck him.
Jason Velez.
He didn't duck him. Why don't you tell the story?
Yeah, he did duck it, dude. People think Matt Korobov took the fight on 2 weeks' notice too. I mean, he didn't make excuses like a little bitch. Jason Velez should have taken it too.
I'm sure you would have took the fight.
It's easy work. You have to knock Tank out. Yeah. Shut up, dude.
Easy work.
Jason's a cruiserweight. Jason's 6'3". Jason's 6'3", 190. He's 6'3", 190. He's a cruiserweight.
Weight class, man.
He's coming after Bobby.
Did you see the ticket prices for Crawford's fight? They're like $700-800. What the hell? What are they thinking? $700 tickets for Crawford and Amir?
Yeah, what is that? Yeah, what is that, man? That's a lot.
Who's gonna pay for that shit?
Not me.
Yeah, right.
I mean, last time Crawford fought in New York, he sold like 7,000 tickets with that Diaz guy. Remember?
Yeah, that was Felix Diaz.
Yeah, Felix Diaz. And when he went to Vegas with Jeff Horn, they sold like 8,000. So Crawford only sells in Omaha.
What did you say? $600-700? Price is tickets priced at 600, 606, 406, 306, 206, and 106. Why are they charging Why are they charging at the $6 mark? Like 106. Why not just $100?
I have no idea unless it's taxes.
$56. Oh, including facility fees. Okay,
unless
so maybe that's like box office fees and everything like that. Okay, that's all right.
The nosebleed section will be full, and the fucking ringside will be empty.
Those aren't too bad. No, I've seen worse prices. That's not bad. That's not too bad.
No, actually, for the Garden, that's not bad. I've seen prices higher at the Garden.
Hell no.
I don't know. Unless a lot of people from the UK come over, I don't know.
No, hell no. They don't travel for Amir Khan. Also, guys, you were asking yesterday who's doing that fight on UFC Fight Pass. That's not a Roy Jones fight. That fight is being done by Salida Promotion. So I guess they're doing fights with other promoters also.
Very nice.
It's kind of interesting.
Very nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Beeb was asking that shit yesterday. Remember?
Yeah.
Also, I just tagged you guys on Twitter. The press conference for Mikey Spence will be on Big Fox on Saturday. Let me tell you the time real quick. Hold on, let me tell you the exact time. It will be on Big Fox live. It will be on Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern.
Now, what time's the fights on Saturday? 8 o'clock Eastern?
Yeah, always PBC. And I guess the prelims will start on 6 to 8 from Fox Sports 1.
Okay, that's what I thought they were going to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of fights on that card, I think. All right, guys, that's my call.
Okay.
Peace.
Right,
see ya.
All right, and
hey, Beeb, did you get a chance to see the fights last night?
Actually, I still haven't watched them yet. I'm going to watch them later tonight. I haven't DVR'd.
Okay. Well, I had that Ramirez fight scored a draw. I thought he very easily could have lost.
Really?
Yeah, I think he took the guy lightly.
People were complaining about the score, and they said it was too wide.
No, actually, I thought they were pretty fair because one judge had it a draw, one judge had it 115, 113, and the judge you could have complained about was 8-4, 116, 112.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm going to watch that tonight.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Right, guys,
well, let me know what you think because I thought he almost lost.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll let you know.
All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, man. Thanks for...
All right, Eric, I'll let you go, man.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us here on this special edition, man, and good luck to Omar Figueroa Saturday. And make sure to catch our show on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can call in, catch us at Ringside73 on Twitter or at JHabib1 for Beeb's Twitter, and then go to ringsidereporterlive.com and see the videos and all that other good stuff. So we will see you soon. Stay tuned, man, because you never know when these shows are going to pop up. A lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff going on. All right, guys.
Have a good one.
Thank you for